being professional matchmakers for over a decade, of course, we have faced this concept of mail order brides websites, and sometimes people compare like what we do as professional matchmakers and dating coaches with mail order brides websites, which of course is hard to compare. And pretty often, when, for example, we participate at some international professional conferences or, for example, any trainings, and when I tell that we are from Eastern Europe and we introduce singles worldwide, sometimes people do ask, like, are you doing mail order brides? And sometimes I want to roll my eyes and tell that, you know what, no, if you hear like someone speak with the accent, it doesn't necessarily mean that this person in the dating sphere works at this field. I can't even call it dating per se. But anyway, Katerina, the executive director of Diolli.com /matchmaker/Cupid, what can you say about the concept, like mail order bride concept, and how it is harmful to the image of what we do, both from the male and female perspective?
First of all, I want to say that, like always, in every sphere we are talking about, you have to understand that there are different sides of everything. And if you don't understand something, then please don't start judging from the beginning. So if for some reason or someone recommended you, or maybe you were interested before and you opened those called mail order brides, the sites that offer such kind of service, you can't judge about all the industry by the experience that you had. You have to understand that it's different. If you go to India, probably someone will take you to tuk-tuk to take you somewhere. It doesn't mean that in all countries, all taxis are looking this way. Or for example, if you go to food court and you eat at some fast food, and of course it was not delicious, it get a lot of spices, it doesn't mean that you will not eat out anytime in your life anymore. So the same about all fields. If we are talking about our industry, you can't even imagine how different services can be that companies provide. And if you have faced before with sites who offer you this service of mail order brides, or maybe someone of your friends told you about such experience, it doesn't mean that you can judge about all the industry like that. And of course, for us, it's offensive when people compare us to such services. Because when you try to provide and you do everything, you do your best to provide the high quality service that differs absolutely from such concept like mail order brides, and someone compares you to it, you just for the first seconds you are out of words. You don't know what to say from the beginning, and then you start to describe the differences and the simple thought that you can't compare everything to each other. So all the industries, they are different. And unfortunately, you had this experience facing with such service, but you can't judge anyone by this, because it's not smart to compare such things. You can ask questions. First of all, you have to hear answers that you get, and please don't judge about all dating industry like it is mail order bride services sites. It's offensive for people who try to provide you really high quality services, and that will differ. I don't know, like I can't even compare what is
Moon and the sun.
Yes. So they're so different. So when you decide for yourself that you want to try and you want to get some information about dating market, be ready to hear this information and be ready not to judge as a person who knows everything already. If you have tried this mail order brides site and you have had correspondence with someone there, if you try to meet someone there, it doesn't mean that you know about dating industry at all, everything. So from time to time, when we get requests from potential clients, they say that they tried the services, they know everything about it. It's impossible. If you visit one restaurant, you can't say that you know everything about all the restaurants all over the world. So if you if you go to one hairdresser, you can't say that you know everything about hairdressing in the whole world. So don't judge it. Don't be so narrow-minded. If you have faced with something in your life, you have to understand that it's not the experience that can be compared to everything that you see and that you meet after. So of
Katerina,
course,
I want to add right now, because you were telling that our clients, people who reach out to us, they tried it. I would say that it is such a minority. So the majority of our clients, they have never tried mail order brides, because it's a scene. I don't know if they're still popular, but for me, it's the scene from the 90s, like early 2000s, that it was a scene. And many people have opened international dating because they were using these websites. But you know, Bert, like with Facebook, Instagram, with all these platforms, like with Tinder, you don't need to pay per letter to brush your ego and get this illusion of endless choice. You can go on Tinder and for free, you can swipe pretty pictures, and in your mind, you are dating and kind of picking these women. If you're talking about it from the male perspective. So you don't need to pay for every letter to open it. Yes, sometimes we get requests. I would say like 10 years ago, there were more requests like that from guys who have used similar services. Usually they were deeply disappointed because they have wasted lots of time, because they have treated it like a dating service. But you know what? Like all these beautiful women, exotic looking, with exotic pretty names, and I will just pick and I will start a relationship that will lead to marriage. And for such platforms, I don't think that's like the main goal, to actually help people build relationship when you have to pay for like every letter. And like a guy who is like 55 can write to a woman who is 22. And of course, he will get a happy answer that she likes him, she wants to marry him, she wants to have his babies, and it is addictive. The majority of people now, they have never heard about this concept. Yes, we do get sometimes requests from, but usually these are older men, like late 40s, 50s, even 60s. So at least 3 times per year, I conduct an interview with someone who has used a platform like that. But I was just thinking that like 10 years ago, this number was much bigger. So more people were using it, because right now, like we have clients in their 20s, in their 30s, like in their early 40s, they have never heard about this concept. So they have never tried anything like that. They have tried Tinder and failed there miserably. So they can complain about Tinder a lot. But again, they have tried local Tinder or Hinge or Bumble or whatever it's trendy, or they have tried to meet someone on Instagram. But no, they haven't tried like mail order brides. But I was thinking like 10 years ago, Katerina, and it's interesting to hear your opinion. We were getting more requests like that, I have used this website or something like hoteuropeanwomen.com, and I was so popular there, but I want to see what you have to offer. So I don't see that it is still a trend. I wonder if like our subscribers would be brave enough to share in the comments below if they have heard about the concept of mail order brides, if they have ever used it, or if it is the first time they have heard about it, because our audience is young. So I doubt like the majority of people even know what we are talking about right now.
Of course, all technologies and tendencies, they change with time, and it's fortunately that it is happening. And really, something that was popular like 10 years, 15 years ago, thanks God, it's already in the past, and people understand. Mostly, people understand that. All the spheres of work, they're changing. So if you're talking about is simple things like supermarkets, how they were built before and how they look now, it will differ. All the services that you get, even if you're talking about simple things like computers, if you memorize what kind of computer you had 10 years before and something that you have now, this is it's not heavy, you can take it with you. It's
And how does it align with our topic, like the computers and the
I
meal
mean,
device? I'm not sure I'm following you.
I mean that technologies, they are always developing, and in all the spheres they are changing. So like it was something that was popular 10 years ago, it's not popular today, and really all the services they're changing, and fortunately people they try to get to know more about what any market can offer them. And the same with dating, the same with international dating. So if before, maybe not all people knew about such premium services like matchmaking, like other services.
Actually, it
Now,
is quite old. Matchmaking is from the 80s, so I have to disagree with you. I would say that I agree with you that technology, yes, maybe in the 90s and 2000, people didn't have, because like social media was not seen, people didn't have access to like, let's say like United States, people didn't have access to like Eastern Europe, or for example, let's say China or other exotic for them countries. So like mail order brides platforms have given them a chance to see that there are people over there and international dating can be a scene. And nowadays it is more accessible because you have Instagram and you have everything. So if this is what you are talking about, then I agree with you. But with the rest, I would say that like Tinder makes dating way more complicated because people still have this illusion of endless choice, of abundance, that there will be more matches. So in this case, technology is not helping.
yes, I agree with you. The Tinder, this in general, this illusion of an endless choice, it ruins a lot of dating strategies that people have and people build. Unfortunately, this illusion, when you think that you can open internet and you can find, you can scroll numerous of profiles, they destroy the possibility for people to build a healthy relationship, unfortunately. If gentlemen, they're realistic enough not to fall for this mistake, and they understand that it is not working in real life, it's impossible that you have this endless choice, especially if you are talking about finding a partner. It's impossible just simply to have it. And unfortunately, people fall for this mistake. They build their strategy around this thought that such terrible thoughts like age is just a number, and they have endless choice, and so on. So unfortunately, yes, they sometimes they implement it into their dating strategy, and it makes their search more and more complicated because of course you don't have an endless choice. Any person in this on this planet doesn't have an endless choice. Even Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, they also don't have endless choice. Some people will like them, some people not, and their life goals and their lifestyles with some people will align, with some people will not. So you have to understand that if you just scroll the huge number of profiles and mostly choose people by their photos, by their photoshopped photos, not realistic photos, it will bring you to nothing because it's not a dating strategy. It's just your way to entertain yourself. it's just something that brush your ego, because you think that all people whom you choose, they like you, and they like you back and choose you for all the right reasons. Of course, it's too far from the reality. And nowadays we have all the information to be realistic. The most important thing is to be wanting to be realistic. That's why I think that this strategy, it's so old, and it also we should leave it in the past. This illusion of an endless choice. So open your eyes, analyze your dating strategy, and if you are looking for the perfect photos, if you're looking for the perfect profile somewhere online, then it's already a sign that your strategy is wrong, because from time to time we face it with our clients too, that they are choosing not the person whom they want to build relationship with. They are choosing the perfectly written profile, the perfectly photoshopped photos, and such search, it can last not even for years. It can last for decades in your life, while you are sitting and waiting for the perfect photos appear in front of you on your monitor. Without communicating with people and without getting real information about them, you will not be able to build relationship, even if you invest a lot of time into it, even if you invest a lot of finances into it. You will not be able to build relationship until you're looking for a real person, not those profiles that you see on the internet, but a real person. And it's very important to remember.
It's hard for me to imagine hers using like mail order brides platforms right now. So a few years ago, we have watched a video with our psychologist Alessia. I think it was filmed in Philippines, and it was about the group of Americans who were like dating these women from Philippines. And what really has shocked us, how they have portrayed it. I don't know, maybe it was like the way they filmed it. So pretty much there were like a group of about 15 guys, and um, they were really poorly dressed. Some of them were like way overweight. They were all like in their late 40s, I would say, were the youngest, like late 40s up till maybe 70s or 80s. You can't really tell how old they were. And then they have showed all this really beautiful, like all those, especially like with this Filipino look, like they look much younger than they are. So we couldn't tell if she's like 15 or if she's 19 or she's like 32, but much younger, very beautiful, slim women. And they were like parading around this group of these guys. So for me, mail order brides, it's something like this. When I'm thinking about mail order brides, I'm thinking about those videos we have analyzed with Alessia. It's very hard for me to imagine like who uses mail order brides platforms nowadays. Like, you know what, with all the technology, if you want to date someone from another country, you can like change location on Tinder or elsewhere on Facebook, and you can reach out to people. You can just travel and meet people. So it's hard for me to imagine someone who is still using those platforms. Maybe someone who has started using them in the 90s, they are still like addicted to those platforms, because you know what? Why people like them, in my opinion? Because first of all, like galleries of beautiful women, and you get responses like on Tinder. All my coaching clients it's not like I'm comparing Tinder to Mildred platforms right now. Again, these are totally different species, but men complain that they don't get as much likes as women do, and they don't get responses. So for example, he has been registered, and women don't write to him, and if he writes to women, they don't answer. And on a people letter dating site or like mail the brides platform, you get tons of messages. You don't even have to upload your picture, and you will have this fake attention. And of course, it's very flattering, and it can get really addictive. But I think that the whole concept, it is dying off, because well, nowadays people are, yes, dating in a way, it is becoming more complicated. In a way, it is becoming less complicated because some rules, they die off. new rules, of course, they appear, because if we are talking about like dating several decades ago, rules were different. Like a man had to call to ask a woman out, to open the doors, to foot the bill at the restaurant. Like nowadays, people split bills, and sometimes women actually reach out to men on those dating apps. Though, of course, women still prefer, especially if you talk about Eastern Europe, they still prefer if a man is the first one to text to them, and that he will be the one who will ask you out and who will foot the bill at the end of the date. But still, rules change. For example, should you text after the date? Yes, you should. Like say thank you for the date. Should you text prior to the date? Should you make a video call if, for example, you have met online? Should you do coffee, or are you taking her out for real lunch? So rules are changing, and in a way, I believe these platforms they are like this old school. Not old school is the bad word. I would say that something that belongs in the 90s, like the Nokia with real buttons. It would be fun to look at such phone and to think that, oh, like my parents had one, or maybe some people had one. Or for example, the old Siemens. I remember my first phone, like mobile phone, was Siemens. And you had to like charge it once per week, like literally maybe twice per week, because like the battery was that good. And nowadays, when I think about that phone, of course, there is a screen, how to use it, only to call, because nowadays we hardly use our phones for calling, like we text. So I would say when I think about mail order brides platforms, guys in the comments, please tell me, maybe some people still use and like them. For me, it reminds of those Siemenses and Nokias. Maybe for people who are like hardcore fans of those things, or who are addicted to everything from the 90s and early 2000s, yes. But in the modern world, it's hard for me to imagine a person who's still paying to look at pretty pictures, photoshopped pictures, edited pictures. You can get the same for free on Tinder. Same illusion of endless choice. But yes, you will get this endless attention. You will get this fake attention, lots of it. So what are your thoughts about it,
I
Katerina?
agree. People very often they want to get this attention, and also I wanted to say that we shouldn't forget about such a dangerous thing like online life. Very often people they get used so much to be online that for them it becomes really difficult to go offline. So unfortunately, they start to build everything online. So they communicate with people online. They order products from supermarkets online. They do shopping online. So this life online it replaces for them their offline life. And sometimes for these gentlemen, if really they got used to such mail order bride sites or some other types of online communication, of course mail order brides really they are easier in this sense, because you get
But do you think people are still using them, Katerina? So my main point is it still like a sin? Do people still do it? What do you think?
in my opinion, maybe a small percentage, because there are really such such applications for free, like Tinder or some others that people can do almost the same, but of course that the desire to be likable it brings them to those sites. I think that some percentage of people they continue using them because they want to be likable. They want people to text them, to get this illusion of communication. And maybe, especially if, like I'm saying, they are living their life online for too long, and they understand that going offline is a stressful experience for them now. So if you want to get someone's attention, even on Tinder, or if you date offline, you have to put effort into it. But when you are texting to someone on those sites, you understand that you get attention just for nothing. So you don't do anything in return. You just send a simple message like hi or how are you, and you get attention in return. But you have to think why it is happening this way. Is it a reality, or is it something that you artificially build around yourself? So if someone is texting you because she's really interested, or she's doing it because, to be honest, they are getting money from that. They're earning money. Those sites, they're earning money on your illusion of communication with
But you
someone.
believe people still use those?
I think the small percentage, not a lot of people. I think that really those people who got used to be on those sites like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe they continue to use it because, like I said, you get attention there for nothing, just for money. You're buying attention there, and to be honest, it's the simple. If you want to get something, the easiest thing you can give for it is money, because when you try to be interesting for someone, you have to put effort into it. You have to be emotionally involved. You have to invest your time, your brains, emotions, everything into it. But when you go on this site, you just pay. I have no idea how much does it cost, because I have never faced with those sites. I don't know if it is expensive or cheap now, but anyway, you can buy this attention for money. And the people who absolutely lost their communicational skills, and for whom it is easier to say hi, how are you, and it's almost everything they can do, then of course those sites is a way to get at least some attention, at least any communication in their life. So I think that maybe a small percentage, especially if we still get such comments, or we still get such feedbacks from people that about those sites, or such comparisons from time to time. Of course, it doesn't happen so often. Then people
I would say only in the comments, Katerina, I was thinking about requests that we get from potential clients. Like, really, when was the last time? I would say last year, I had this call with a man. He was in his late 50s or early 60s, I guess. And he wanted to date someone in her 30s, better in her middle 30s or early 30s, because he wanted to have kids. And like for the first 20 minutes of the call, he was telling me that women in their late 30s, early 40s, they would have problem conceiving. And I was thinking, but you were like, he was like either 58 or 62. But you're like 58 or 62, like, so you are not concerned that you might have problems conceiving and raising that kid. So you don't care about your age. And that guy, he was using such websites, and he was telling me that he had a girlfriend from one part of the world whom he has met online, such a website. But in his opinion, she was not pretty and young enough. So he has moved on to another. And of course, he didn't end up becoming our client because I couldn't promise him a 32 years old woman who would be interested in dating him. And here's telling that, oh, her language skills are not important. Like, we can use Google Translate. Like, really, no. Like, we introduce singles who are really cosmopolitan and international. So I don't even think we have people in our database who don't speak English at the moment. So I was thinking about that guy, and maybe one more man who also wanted to date much younger, like way much younger. And I believe he was also using those pay-per-letter dating sites or like mail order brides platforms, because his ex-girlfriend was Russian, and it turned out that she had a boyfriend back in Russia. So he flew her to meet him in Europe, and it was years ago. And after that, she disappeared after that vacation. So I was thinking, And maybe, like I was saying already 8, 10 years ago, I heard it more often during consultations. So I like this trend that these people, they have stopped reaching out to us, but they exist somewhere. Or really are like such websites, they don't get new base of users or fans.
Definitely the number of people who continue to use it, it's not big now, of course. Really, I would say that in my opinion it would be people who are older, who got used to those sites and they continue to use them for many years, and really maybe they continue to use it now. So to be honest, in my opinion, when a person is looking at our site, and when he can't find those endless choice of profiles, because all our clients and potential clients know how we value privacy, and we don't post any photos or videos of our male and female clients, so they simply can't find them on our website, in our social media. So they understand that nothing is interesting for them here, and that's why I think they don't fill in the request forms on our site. So they can't find what they're looking for on our site.
But sometimes we are asked, like, where can I see the catalog of women? But catalog of women, you can do Tinder and it's free. Or you can buy a feature, like, I don't know how much it costs, maybe $9 or $10. And you will get access to even more profiles, and you can look at this. I think, like, really, like 2024, who can be surprised with beautifully photoshopped and edited photos? Like, people even edit videos. Like, have you seen those videos on TikToks when you watch a beautiful woman who like moves and she looks like this K-pop idol? So she's beautiful and she sings, and then like the next part of the video, it's actually the guy, and he's using a special program to transform his appearance for the video. So he moves like he's a guy, not a good-looking guy, balding, middle-aged. And on the screen, people see a beautiful woman. So I have seen a few of those, and people send donations, like tips, whatever, to a woman that doesn't exist. So, but again, that's the form of entertainment. So some people buy like T-shirts with the name of a band. Some people support like virtual singers or artists, whatever you can call it. So we have devoted videos on this channel, I believe, to discussing people, the dating sites, things like that. But in my opinion, like, it's such an outdated thing. I don't know if people still use it. Maybe we will be surprised, and in the comments, people will tell us that we know nothing, and people find love there. It's hard for me to imagine someone like in his 30s or 40s or 20s nowadays logging into a people at a dating site or Mail the Bride's catalog and choosing like a bride or a soulmate.
I totally agree with you that it's strange to imagine how people doing it nowadays when the world is changing. And what kind of recommendation I want to give people who continue to use such sites or
if you still exist.
Yeah.
First of all, you are rare.
If you still exist, if you are using those sites that give you the illusion of an endless choice, and especially people who continue their dating life only online, so it's important for them to remind yourself how real people look. Because let's be honest, on our phones we all have programs, filters, everything on any phone. If you open simple social media like Instagram, you can download filter already there and do photos, videos with it. So our online life became too much filtered. And sometimes people who use only online dating, they forget how real people look. And this is a huge problem. After that, they start to look for those perfect pictures / perfect people. So they start thinking that people, how they look online on those sites, in social media, they should look the same in real life. And here they will face with a huge disappointment, because filters, they are existing to change the appearance of the person. It's their main goal, to make the skin unrealistically perfectly looking, and to make eyes bigger, to make lips bigger, to make hair longer, and so on. So real people, after that, when you go on real dates offline, your brain builds you absolutely unrealistic portrait of a person. And when you meet a real person, even if she is really beautiful, she has wonderful looks, but you will judge her by the online looks you got used to. So remind yourself how real people look in real life. Unfortunately, we face with it sometimes when guys, they continue to look for that perfect photos and perfect people in real life. Their brains, they rebuild absolutely the portrait of a person they can meet in real life, and it's a problem. If your dating life, it exists only online, if you communicate with ladies only online, you judge people by their filtered and photoshopped photos, you have to remind yourself how real people look. Go offline, communicate with people offline, try to have at least several offline dates to change this your attitude to the image of the person you're seeing in front of you. It's crucially important to do it, in my opinion.
I tell to all gentlemen who become our coaching clients and matchmaking clients, the first thing you must do when you re-enter dating market, you have to unfollow all these bloggers you are following on Instagram or, for example, TikTok, because you find a woman cute, attractive. First of all, yes, what you have mentioned, filters. But even if, okay, she is not using filters, you have been following her for months, and you feel like you know this person. You feel like this blogger, you have been following her stories. And these people, that's their job, if she's a professional blogger, to create addictive content so that people actually watch her content among like thousands, hundreds of thousands of different choices. They choose this blogger to follow. So you have this feeling that you know this woman, she is beautiful, you like her, you like the image that she is transmitting to the world, and you are comparing real people to this blogger. This blogger, even if she was single, there are like almost zero chances that she would choose you back and you are compatible, because usually people follow like he wants to date someone who is down to earth, smart, and who is not obsessed with like glamorous things, but then he is following a woman who blogs about Chanel purses or perfumes, so about fashion. And yes, she is beautiful, but her beauty is made up, and she wears expensive clothes, she goes through expensive procedures, and this type of looks that she is selling in those Instagram posts or on TikTok, to get to that look, she had to invest like thousands of dollars into creating that look and then maintaining that look. So it's an ongoing process. And then men tell something like, oh, but I want to date someone like that, but less high maintenance. Like, how do you even see that happening? So unfollow all those bloggers and start meeting real people, because your brain, you start comparing those bloggers to real people. Well, if you will turn on Netflix, there will be a ton of attractive people, because among all the people around the earth, the producers have chosen those who look extremely good on camera. And with filters, you never know. Like, watch some video, some movies and videos, like, for example, how they made Nicole Kidman look younger for a movie, or another actor look younger or look older for a movie, you will understand that almost everyone has been addicted when it comes to movies. But again, we must return to our topic. I believe, like, probably we are the wrong people to talk about mail order brides, because we are not in the business of mail order brides. And sometimes when we get requests, even from women who tell that, like, oh, like dating agencies, so somebody will write letters on my behalf. Like, what? No. Such questions, they even irritate, because like it's like seeing a ghost from the 90s. Like, why are you asking that? You know, like, and then you start explaining how we will introduce her, because people still have this sometimes cliche, the stereotype. But I'm happy that this stereotype is dying off with this concept.
It will be actually very interesting if our subscribers or just viewers, they will text about their experience in the comments to this video, if they have used those sites, what kinds of results they got, and if they continue using them, because really it will be interesting to see if those people really still exist, if they are using those sites, and the number of such people. So we are asking you to text in the comments to this video about your thoughts, first of all, on this topic, about those
or maybe
sites.
email us, Katerina@Diolli.com, Svetlana@Diolli.com, if you don't feel like sharing your comment in the open.
So it will be interesting to know if people really continue using those sites, who are those people, if there is the exact age group that continue using them, and share with us your experience in comments or in your emails. It will be interesting for us also to know your experience with it, and if you continue using it.
If you have managed to watch our discussion till the end, it got quite long. Please don't forget to press like right now, to subscribe to our channel to get access to the new content that we are creating for you every week. Also, please consider supporting our channel and becoming a sponsor. You will get access to extra content that we create especially for our sponsors. And if you have any questions about our matchmaking process, not about mail order brides concept, feel free to fill in the form for a complimentary consultation with a matchmaker. Also, if you have any questions about matchmaking process, dating and relationship related topics, feel free to mention them in the comments below, and we will be happy to devote a video or an article to your question. My name is Svetlana Moha. I'm the founder and the leading matchmaker / dating coach at Diolli.com. Thank you so much for watching with us, for watching us and for staying with us through this discussion. Please share if you have enjoyed it. Your feedback is always more than welcomed. And we will see you in the next one. Katerina, thank you for having this interesting dialogue with me today.
Thank you, and see you in the next video.
Bye.